Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm glad you're having this hearing. I want to mention that Tim Reeser is always helpful, is giving me phonetic pronunciation, but I'll still probably mix it up. Though I think the fact that we have representatives of Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia, Georgia, Poland, Ukraine, places that many of us have visited. I know you have, and I know Senator Durbin has. We know the stakes involved. This is the second congressional hearing we've had in Russia since the beginning of the new administration. I suspect we're going to have a lot more. It's also the first we have the benefit of hearing directly from the representatives of countries that have experienced Russia's military aggression and economic and political interference for many years. We understand the interference you've had. We now count ourselves among those who are facing the same kind of interference. We learned the Russian government interfered in our elections to further its own interests. And the new president said virtually nothing about it. He has made no secret of his admiration for President Putin, while he and other White House officials have disparaged American news media. If they've been critical of Putin, he's called them enemy. They called our American news media the enemy of the people. That's something we might expect of a President Putin, but not of the President of the United States. I feel we should have an independent investigation into Russia's interference in our election. Find out exactly what happens, and we can take appropriate action. But at the same time, I think we have to have hearings like Chairman Graham has called here, so that the American public will know exactly what's happened in other parts of the world and what we face. Is one thing when we see our leaders attacking American media. I happen to disagree with that. But I disagree with it even more when nothing is said about Vladimir Putin's ruthless campaign to silence his critics, especially to silence the Russian press. We have not heard any criticism from our president about Russia's invasion of Ukraine, annexation of Crimea, Russia's occupation of Georgian territory, atrocities committed by Russian forces in Syria, their support for the Assad regime, or Russia's efforts to undermine stability and democracy across Europe. I think I want you to know that not everybody in this country is praising Vladimir Putin. I don't. The chairman does it. I think they're supporting the independence of our friends and allies when they're under a threat or attack is in the United States' national interest. I'll continue to work with Senator Graham. I want to ensure that U.S. assistance is made available for our partners in Eastern Europe and what the parts that were part of the former Soviet Union. But it's not because we're seeking a confrontation with Russia, it's because we recognize the importance of ensuring that our partners can maintain their sovereignty, provide for their people. Do I agree with the president saying we should have a constructive relationship with Russia rather than an adversarial one? Yes, if that's possible. But we cannot ignore the significance of the Russian government's malignant activities toward us and our partners if we want to protect our own national interests. That's what we have to do first. Then we can talk about where we go diplomatically from there. So I thank you for having, this is a very important lineup of witnesses. I thank all of you for taking the time.